Hello everyone, I'm Paul and this is problem 1081, smallest subsequence of distinct characters. This is a medium problem that might become tricky, so let's see how to solve it step by step. Given a string s, we have to return the lexicographically smallest subsequence of s that has all the characters of s exactly once. So let's say that we are given this input. Here the result will be a subsequence with the characters a, c, d, and b. Why? Well, because these are all the characters in the string and we are preserving the relative order of the characters. Remember how to build a subsequence. We can remove some or none of the characters. For example, if we remove only this, remaining characters form a valid subsequence. We can form a valid subsequence with this also, and so on. So we can get the final result by keeping these four characters. We are preserving the relative order of the characters. Now, if we consider this subsequence, here we also have all the characters in the string exactly once. The problem is that this substring is lexicographically larger than the result. That's why we have to return this. Now, maybe you are thinking about iterating every possible subsequence and keeping the lexicographically smallest one. The problem is that we can have a lot of subsequences. For example, let's say that we are trying to build one valid subsequence. For example, we can remove these two characters and remaining characters form a valid subsequence, and so on. We have a lot of choices. So regarding this first character, we can either remove it or include it in the subsequence. We have two choices. Regarding the next character, we can either include it or remove it from the subsequence. We have two choices again. And we have two choices for every other character. So if we consider all the choices, how many subsequences can we form? Well, 2 times 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 2. And this is exactly the same as 2 to the power of n, where n is the length of the string that we are given. Here we have the constraints and we know that the length can be of up to 1000, and 2 to the power of 1000 is a huge number. So we have to think about something else. We can't iterate all subsequences. The main idea here is that we can use a stack. Remember that in stacks, we append elements from the right and we pop elements from the right. So we have an empty stack and we are iterating these characters from left to right from index 0. And we don't know what's next. We only know that right now we have a C and the stack is empty. We are looking for the lexicographically smallest subsequence, so this character could be part of the final result. We add it to the stack. Now we are looking at this character and remember that we don't know what's next. So we could add a B here, but B is smaller than C, so maybe we should pop this character first. Now, how do we know if we have to pop this or not? Well, we need to know where is the last occurrence of the character C, because here we have 3 C's in the string, so maybe we have to pop this and keep one of these 2 C's instead. How can we keep track of the last occurrence of each character here? Well, with a map. Here we will use unique characters as keys and last indices as values. So now we have this map. For example, the last occurrence of character C is at index 7 here, and so on. Now, we were standing at index 1, so we are looking at B. B is smaller than C, so maybe we have to pop this. Given that we will see another C in the future, and the current character is strictly smaller than this character should go first. So we pop this and add B. Now we continue, so we are looking at this character. Once again, we don't know what's next, so we could add A here, because this is a unique character. We don't have A in the stack. Now the problem is that A is strictly smaller than B, so maybe we should pop this character first. We check the map and we know that we will see another B at index 6 here. So we can actually pop this before adding A. Next we have a C. We don't have C in the stack yet, and C is not smaller than the last character in the stack, so we can just add it and continue. Next we have a D. We don't have D in the stack, and D is not smaller than the last character, so we add it. Next we have a C, but we already have C in the stack right here, and we need unique occurrences of each character, so we continue. Next we have a B, and B is smaller than the last character of the stack, so maybe we should pop this before adding B. For this we check the map, and we know that the last occurrence of character D is at index 4, and this happens to be the D that we have already seen. Why? Well, because we are standing at index 6, and this index is smaller than the current index. Whenever we find a smaller index, this means that we have already seen the last occurrence of this character. So this means that we should keep this D. At this point, we can just add B without popping this and continue. Finally, we have another C, but we already have C in the stack. So now we continue, we are out of bounds. This is the final array. We transform it into a string with join, and we can return this. So the main idea is that we are using a monotonically increasing stack. As you can see, A is smaller than C, C is smaller than D, and whenever we find a character that's smaller than the last character of the stack, we check if we can pop this last character. Remember that here index 4 was smaller than the index that we were standing at 6. That's why we keep this. And by doing this, we solve the problem in big O of n, time and space complexity. So with this in mind, let's go with the code. First, we can say that n is the length of the string, and we have a map for last indices. This is empty, and we need to fill it. So for every index and character in enumerate string, last at the current character is equal to the current index. So for example, let's say that we have a string with CABC. First, when we are standing at this C, we say that last at C is equal to index 0. Then we have more characters, and then we have another C. So we say that last at C is now equal to the last index. We are replacing this value, which means that by the time we end this for loop, we have last indices for unique characters in the map. Now we can say that the result is an empty array. And finally, we want to return this result in string format, so we can use join with result. And here in between, we can iterate the indices again. So for I and C, in enumerate S, first we check if we have already seen the character and it's in the stack. Given that we are trying to avoid repeated characters, we can just continue. So if C in result, continue. Else we have a unique character, so we have to add it to the stack. But before doing this, we might have to pop previous characters. While we have something in the stack and the current character is strictly smaller than the last value of the stack, we might have to pop this last value. Now we can only pop this if we will see this character again in the future, because we have to include all unique characters in the final result. So if we have this scenario and the current index is strictly smaller than the last occurrence of this last character, for this we have a map last result -1. Here we can actually pop the last value in the stack, result.pop. Now the next character in the stack might still meet this requirement. That's why here we use a while loop. While we have something in the stack and we meet the conditions, we pop last characters. Then we add the current character, repeat the same process until we are out of bounds. Finally, we return the string. So let's submit this and see if it works. As you can see, this works and it's very efficient. So if you found this useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.